Welcome to the Mental Insights Podcast, a conversation aimed at understanding all sides of mental health, addiction recovery, and homelessness. Each interview will include one's personal experiences and insights, or an expert's advice and knowledge within one of these fields. The goal is to promote awareness, guidance, and support for anyone who is affected by these challenges. Thank you all for listening. Welcome to the Mental Insights Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode number 12 with Daeyna Jackson. This is your host, Brennan Cutuli, and here today we're going to be speaking about how to build self-confidence even when your life is a mess. Within part 1 of this episode, we spoke about Daeyna's story, her podcast, She is a Mess, which can be found at sheIsAmess.com, and really today we're going to be transitioning into the insights that Daeyna has through her own experiences, through her podcast, through the great community that she's built today. So Daeyna, to really just start off, we spoke about some of, the challenges of dark times, of struggles, and how it can be this sense of hope. We can have this opportunity to create change. And I want to know, what really positives can someone take out from being in this dark, this low, this rock bottom point within their life?
As weird as it sounds, I believe that every person who is meant to do great things with their lives has to go through some kind of dark time. So I think that you should definitely count it a blessing when your life is looking like hell, because many of the great people like the Oprahs and the Bill Gates and all those people who have done fantastic things with this world have all gone through some dark period of time in their life. And when I look back at my life, I realize that if I had not gone through all those years of mess, all those years of shame and guilt, and all of those bad things that I had done and experienced, I would not be this person today. I would not be able to stand here as a testimony to transformation and restoration. So even though your life might look like it's in the pits, trust that because it's in the pits, there is going to be something powerful that comes from that specific situation.
I love it. I completely agree. And I think this is one of the things that many people, I think, struggle with, is having this perspective when they're in it. And, you hear a lot of people who have experienced a low point in your life, and they speak about how it's really an opportunity for change, and there are positives to come out, but it's always the toughest challenge to see it when you're in that when you're in that experience, because it's hard to say, all right, I'm at the lowest point in my life, but there's still so much to come. There's so much to look forward to. But you're in kind of that headspace of all, what can I do? Can I do anything to change? And, one aspect that comes within this is self-confidence. And I think this has such a role in terms of, how we see ourselves, how we speak to ourselves. And I want to know, how does self-confidence affect our own health, whether it be mental, physical, emotional, spiritual?
Funny enough, one of my favorite quotes says that the person you will speak to most is yourself. So be kind to yourself. And I seriously believe that every single thought that we have, it goes from thoughts into our actions. So whatever you do in your life is based on what you believe in yourself. So if you believe that you're the worst person in the world, that you can't do anything, you're meant for nothing, then your life will reflect those beliefs. Your life will become nothing. You will be just an aimless person wandering in this world, just surviving. You will never be a person of impact. But if you can believe that you are meant for more, you are meant for greatness, you are amazing, you are unique, you are enough, you are well loved, then your life will reflect those beliefs, because our beliefs become our actions, and our actions become decisions, and our decisions become our destiny. So if you can believe it, you will act it. If you can act it, you will decide it. And if you can decide it, you will live it. So you have to have confidence in yourself and in your life if you want your life to be better than it was yesterday.
I love it, and it's definitely something that I think takes time. It takes effort to create this change, and for someone who has seen themselves as kind of this, person who is not going to get anywhere, not going to do anything within their life. It takes many different opportunities, many different activities that they can do within their own lifestyle in order to build this self confidence. And Can you speak about some of the steps that someone can take in order to, learn to love themselves, learn to see themselves as someone who can take that next step within their life?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. One of my favorite exercises to teach anyone is called thought replacement. It's similar to self affirmation, but it starts out with you being in a very negative place, which is where most of the people are who are needing that kind of level of self confidence. So, what I always tell you to do is on a blank piece of paper, I want you to write down 10 to 14 of the worst thoughts you have about yourself. And I want you to say it in like, I am not good enough. I am ugly. I am worthless. I am the worst piece of whatever on this earth. I want you to write down 10 to 14 of those thoughts. And between each thought, I want you to skip about 5 lines. And I also want you to write those statements in pencil. So you're gonna number your paper. 1, I am whatever. 2, I am whatever, and keep going until you've gotten to at least 14. And then after you look at these statements, I want you to slightly change the way how you phrase these statements and make them positive. For example, if your first thought is, I am not good enough, I want you to say, I am good enough. I am not worth anything, or I am worthless. I want you to say, I am worthy. And I want you to keep on going down the paper until you've changed every single thought into the positive version of itself. And when you write these positive versions, I want you to write them in pen. So the negative thoughts in pencil and the positive thoughts in pen. So you should have about 28 statements on your paper right now. And just like a self affirmation, every day for 1 to 2 minutes, you're going to read every single thing on that paper to yourself in front of a mirror. And I want you to say, first, I am not enough, I am enough. I am worthless, I am worthy. And keep going until you've gotten to the end of the paper. For 7 days, 1 to 2 minutes every single day, read off those statements, the negative statements, the positive statements, read them off. And at the end of the 7 days, take a big eraser, the biggest one you can find, and erase all the negative thoughts on the paper. So now all you should have left is the 14 positive statements written in pen. That's exactly why you wrote them in pen, because negative thoughts are temporary, positive thoughts are permanent. And for the next 14 days, just 1 minute to 2 minutes every single day, look at yourself in the mirror and speak those words. I am enough. I am worthy. I am loved. I am unique. Whatever it is that you have written on your paper. And when you say those words, say it like you mean it. Say it like you're saying it to save your life. Speak it like you are speaking with conviction. I know at first you might not feel that way at all about yourself. It might be really weird and really awkward. But the more you say it, the more you get used to saying good things about yourself. And at the end of 21 days, you will realize that the automatic thoughts that used to pop into your head don't pop into your head anymore. What you've what you've done is basically slowly but surely rewired your brain from going to the negative to going to the positive. And the more you do this, the more you train yourself, the more you say these things about yourself, the more you start to believe them, the more you start to see them happening in different areas of your life. I have done this many times and I've taught this to many people. And it's surprising that you see at the end of the 21 days, at the end of 30 days, how their smile changes, the way how their posture changes, the way how they dress changes. Is just injecting these positive thoughts into their life and erasing the negativity that really just gets that positive, that confidence train going. So that's my favorite exercise to use.
That is such a great one because usually you normally hear self affirmations, but this one I think really tangibly puts into place of, actually believing that and being able to rid yourself away from those negative thoughts. And as you said, it really has much more of a profound impact of just the way you see yourself, but it's your body language, it's the way you communicate with others. And I think this is something, good. We're speaking about how self confidence can have a positive effect within your own health, within your own life, how you see yourself. But there's also many benefits, externally. And I want you to speak about how important this relationship with ourself can be, you know, can be providing an opportunity to be successful in our social and our work environments.
Oh, most definitely. I read some research and I've seen it for myself where you can have a man and you can have a woman walk into an investment meeting. The man might have, they both have the same qualifications, but their level of confidence is so different that a man will 9 out of 10 times sell that investor on his product over the woman. And I'm not saying this as a gender or anything. I'm just saying that realistically, men tend to have a higher level of self-confidence than women. And because they have that higher level of self-confidence plus the qualifications to back that up, it tends to go better for them in business. And I say this to say that for many of us, we are overly qualified with what we can do. We are amazing at spreadsheets, we're amazing in accounting, we're amazing in all these different areas, but we have zero self confidence in ourselves. And because we have zero self confidence, we're not able to sell ourselves to anyone. Look at this, like picture this. Imagine if I were to come to you in a business meeting to tell you about my new product. Hi, my name is Daeyna. I am a programmer for Microsoft and I want to teach you about this new technology. But when I come to you, my eyes are looking at the ground, I'm slumped over, my hands are sweaty, my feet are turned inwards, and I'm just not smiling. Would you believe me that I have the expertise to actually sell this product? No, you would not, because my body language does not reflect any level of confidence. But then imagine the flip. Imagine if I come in, I only have 1 year of experience in programming, but I am looking at you in the eyes. My smile is broad, my shoulders are back, my speech level is up there. You can hear everything I'm saying. I speak with a level of confidence that supersedes my qualifications. I'm saying this to say that confidence will make all the difference in your life. If you can walk into a meeting with the level of confidence that people who have zero levels of experience have, you can make a difference over, you can make all the difference in your life. Like when it comes to meetings, if you can speak with a louder level of voice, it makes a difference. If you go into a meeting and you give a firm handshake, it makes a difference. If you are even walking on the street and you have a posture that exudes confidence, it makes a difference. Confidence does not only affect you, it affects every single area of your life. Whether you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, if you don't have the confidence to walk into those interviews and sell yourself, you will not become the doctor, the lawyer, the speaker you want to be. If you don't have the confidence to say your name and to look people in the eye and let them know that you exist, they will not know you exist. If you don't have the confidence to get up on that stage and perform, knowing full well you might embarrass yourself, nobody will know that you're there. You could be the best kept secret, but what's the point of being the best kept secret? If you have a gift, if you have something to offer to the world, you need to have that confidence in yourself to be able to show the world that, hey, I am here and I am ready to make a difference. Confidence will make all the difference in your life.
Thank you, Dana. I love it because it really shows the importance of, it's not only affecting yourself and your own health, but it helps you lead into deeper connections with others and, you become more successful in many avenues of, your health, social, work environments. There's so much at play, and really it all starts within looking deep within yourself, looking within yourself and saying, all right, I can do this. I have the power to be my true self. And I think within the podcast that you're doing now, you're not only building the self-confidence, showing your self-confidence within yourself, but I believe the stories that you're sharing of others is helping other women see that they can have the confidence within themselves. They can be able to take that next step, and whether it's look out and go get this new job or start this business. There's many different ways of which a story can help listeners really take that next step. And I want to know, how impactful has putting not only your story out there, but the women that you're able to interview on your podcast. How impactful has that been with providing value to your listeners in saying, I have this confidence to do this for myself that maybe I didn't a week ago?
Trust me, there have been so many women that have said, you know what? I used to be afraid of sharing my truth. I used to be scared that people would think bad of me for me admitting my mistakes. I used to be terrified that if anyone knew who I had been, that I would not be wanted anymore. I would not be seen as an authority. But sharing my truth, sharing my story has given me such a freedom that I am no longer afraid of people knowing my past, because I know that my past is a part of my present and my present is a part of my future. Women have been saying that, you know what? I am proud of who I was because it made me who I am. I am proud of where I'm coming from because it shows just how far I have come. I am proud that I was able to pick myself up because there are many people who have been in similar situations and have not been able to pick themselves up. So that means that I am a strong person. I'm an empowered person. And yes, I am imperfect. Yes, I still make mistakes. Yes, I am not exactly where I want to be. But sharing my story has brought me such a level of confidence, such a level of empowerment and encouragement that I know that if I have made it this far, if I have overcome those obstacles, then I am ready and able to overcome anything that life draws my way. And that, for me, is a job well done.
I completely agree. I think that's so powerful because you're able to lead so many people into new directions and new just perspectives about themselves and their opportunities and what they're able to do. I think it's a true testament to the work that you're doing now, and it shows how great of a community that you're building today. I think this last question that I love to ask my guests is going to be great in terms of you're truly focused on building a positive community about lifting others up through a time of challenge, through time that's providing them some sort, it's holding them back. And I think you have the ability to really lift people up, and given resources, I think you'd be able to do even more. And I want to provide this hypothetical scenario to see what you'd like to do in order to lift others up if you had more resources. And with that being said, I want to give you this hypothetical scenario that you were given a large sum of money, say, $1 billion, and I want to know where you would allocate these resources in order to help women who are facing challenging times. So, just what are some creative ways that you think you'd be able to lift up women if you had, the resources, the money in order to do whatever you please? What kind of community would you be able to envision within your own community, whether it's to, build up She Is a Mess, whether it's to create new avenues, new communities, new resources? What would be your hope and vision in order to help women who are facing challenging times today?
Oh my gosh, you asked me the perfect question because I have had these ideas on my heart for so long. But the biggest thing that I would do with that money is start my foundation, Believe in You Too. I want to have a community, a place where women can go to get inspired, get encouraged, and also get practical steps to help them out of their mess. And in me starting my Believe in You Too foundation, that foundation will give women the assets, the resources that they need to help them to change their lives. Whether they're drug addicts, whether they're in sex work, wherever they are, my foundation would help you to change your mindset, change your habits, and then change your life. So that's one of the first things I would want to start, which is my nonprofit. I also want to publish two separate books. I want to publish a book that is about my life, which would help women to see that if God can change this person who was the worst of the worst, he can change me too. If he can bring this woman who was in the darkest pits of her life and bring her out and over to the other side, he can too. And I also want to write another book, which is a devotional and a journal to really help women to understand what's going on in their life. How did they get to where they are right now, and what can they do step by step to help them out of where they are to where they need to be in life. I would also want to do monthly conferences. She goes forward to really help women to go forward in their life, to teach them what they need to learn to be able to change the way they think, change the way they act, and change the way they live. I also want to have a ministry to help women to create their own ministries. There are so many of us who, like me, have been divorced, who feel like now that they're divorced, they cannot do anything with their life. They're just a divorced, pathetic person. But I want to teach them that, hey, that does not define you. Those circumstances that you've gone through do not define you. You can be more. And through this group, through this convention, through this conference, through this whatever it is, I can show you how to start your own ministry, how to start your own outreach service. I can show you how to use the lessons you have learned to help other people. I think those are the big ones that I would invest in with that money. There's a ton more, but those are the big ones.
That is a great start, Daeyna. I'm so happy that you were able to share that, and as well that you have these insights, you have these aspirations as well that are starting, and I think that just shows about your hope and your really strategic thinking, your creativity in order to help lift women up who have faced challenges, whether it's similar to yourself or similar within your community. And I think it's so awesome what you're doing now, and I'm so looking forward to you continuing this this message and this passion, because as you just stated, you have a lot of hope and a lot of, I think, belief in order to create these next steps within your own community. So I just want to thank you for taking this time out with me and being on the Mental Insights podcast. It was a true pleasure.
Oh, I am so, so blessed and thankful. Thank you so much, Brendan. This was a great opportunity for me to really connect with whoever is listening and to share the message and to speak to you. I am so honored. You have really given me this time that you could have given to other people, but you gave it to me to be able to speak and to help, and I am so thankful.
Thank you, Daeyna. I really appreciate those kind words, and I'm really looking forward to my audience taking a listen into this episode. And if they haven't already, part one, we spoke about how to turn your life around after you've made a mess. We spoke about Daeyna's podcast, She Is a Mess, which can be found at sheIsAmess.com. And you can go below to the show notes to get these links to Daeyna's work, and you can check out her podcast, get connected with Daeyna to hear more about what she is doing and maybe how she can help you moving forward. So if any of this resonated to you, please make sure to check out Daeyna's work below in the show notes and reach out to her, get connected so you can help really join her community and build it into an even larger one, because as you've heard, Daeyna's got some high hopes in order to help lift you up. So thank you all again for listening. This was season 2, episode 12 of the Mental Insights podcast. And please be sure to let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, review. Let us know what you think about this episode. And please be sure to get in touch with Daeyna if you'd like to take that next step within your life. So thank you all for listening again. This was your host, Brendan Cutuli. Thank you all for listening to today's episode of the Mental Insights podcast. Make sure to reach out to today's guest or myself if you need any advice, guidance, or support in your life today. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and review to this podcast so we know what you thought of this episode. I look forward to being in touch with you all in the next episode. I hope you all have a wonderful day.